I'm Fleur Baikie. I am the Director of Learning for Modern Languages in the school I'm in, and I am facilitating the NPQLT, so leading teaching. I think they're just a really good opportunity to have a whole day talking about teaching. And ironically, as teachers, we don't often get the chance to have a whole day talking about teaching and learning and talking about how to help students progress. And for me, that's been the biggest kind of gain for me as a facilitator, but also for the participants, is just that opportunity to have a day talking about teaching and learning. So the ideal participant really is somebody who's passionate about teaching and learning. They may have a leadership responsibility in their school around leading a subject or leading teaching and learning, but they might not also. It's just someone who really wants to delve into teaching and learning and how students learn, how we encourage them to progress, and maybe who has aspirations to lead in the future, but they don't have to be leading at the moment. Just somebody with that passion. Yeah, so the program structure has 3 key cycles. There's an induction module at the beginning, and then you flow through the 3 key cycles with an assessment at the end. And in each key cycle, you focus on different areas of teaching and learning. So for example, today we're doing day 1, and day 1 focuses on how students learn. That was our first section of the day. Then we've just done curriculum design to support learning. And then this afternoon, we're focusing on implementation. So how we actually make all the great ideas we have kind of develop in our schools, in a faculty or across a school, how you implement change. So that's just a taster from day 1. The online learning is really important because it's where the kind of research really features. It's where that pedagogical expertise comes from. For example, before today, they had online learning to do in the induction cycle, and they've already learnt about the different pedagogical theories we're talking about through that online learning. So it is really important to the participants' understanding around teaching and learning. So the face-to-face is the start of each cycle. So today we're starting cycle 1 with this cohort, and they will have done some online learning as part of the induction module. But in terms of within this cycle, they start with a face-to-face, then in between time, so for the next bit of the cycle, they do some online learning. That's where they read further research, and they also have to complete some practice activity tasks where they reflect on research that they've read and their context, and kind of think about what the research says, the key messages, and how that applies to their context. Maybe what's already happening, but also maybe what could change. So that all happens after the face-to-face day. They do the online learning modules, submit their tasks, and then we meet again for another face-to-face day, which is the launch of cycle 2. The face-to-face days are really the launch pad of each of the 3 cycles. I think there are so many benefits. I think it can give people confidence in what in their teaching as a baseline. It can really enhance their teaching practice in their classroom with their class or classes, depending on their context. It can also open their eyes to the latest research and evidence-informed research, which I think is really important. There's so much educational research out there, it's sometimes difficult to know which research to turn to. So through the NPQLT, they are focusing on really reliable, robust research and to inform their practice. I think they can also then take that back to their placement or their school, and whether they're in a leadership role or not, they can affect change then in their area based on the robust research. But as part of the days, they also get to discuss with peers and colleagues from across the region, which is a really nice networking opportunity. You can also share common challenges in teaching, which I think is nice, but also common kind of goals and next steps. So the participants can move away from the day with kind of a clarity on their own teaching, but also some goals, aspirations, and some new contacts.